Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Ballettissimo, which was shown at the Praha Statni Opera. The conductor was Jakub Kleka. The dancers were Mihaela Vencelova, Yuri Kodim, Ivana Ilyenko, Viktor Konvalinka, Aya Watanabe, Krzysztof Szymek, Mihaela Sherna, Alexander Katsapov, Morgana Lenoe, Andrea Kramishova, Monika Hedukova, Susanna Shimakova, Patrick Holešek, Giovanni Rotollo, Yuri Vanka, Guido Sarno, Miho Okamoto, Karel Audi, Magdalena Matekova, Jonas Dolnik, Marta Drastikova, Matej Shust, Nicola Marova, Michal Stipa, Sophie Benoit, Alice Petit, Krzysztof Szymek, Andrei Winklat, and Gian Vito Attimonelli, with the choreography done by Petotsuska, Jacopo Godani, and Uwe Scholz, with compositions by Gustav Mahler, 48 Nord, which basically comprises of Ulrich Müller and Siegfried Rösert, and Ludwig van Beethoven. Now, since this is mainly an anthology performance of different choreographies in terms of ballet, I'm not going to be too crazy about the production and the costumes, but it's safe to say that they enhance the move of the pieces, and each of the costumes managed to be very distinct. Like, for example, in Gustav Mahler's Symphony in D major, we see the dancers in like a bluish and sort of like blue colored costumes, and well, basically colorful costumes, and the lighting basically uses that minimalistic effect. Like we see a lot of shades of purple, and we see some shades of blue and turquoise, all of the cool colors, so to say. And it's basically used to enhance the mood of this composition. And the conducting done by Maestro Jakub Kleka was extremely solid in this case. And then we move on to Reflections on the Fate of Human Forms by the duo 48 Nord, aka Ulrich Müller, and Siegfried Rösert, in which it's basically all black and white, and the dancers are in like a flesh colored top, and we see them in like, well, black shorts, and some of them are like wearing like black dancing shoes, and even though the ladies have the point shoes still on. And well, in terms of this, it's not really the conductor doing it, it's basically like pre recorded. And since this is basically a modern piece that has been played, so in this second movement, it's a more modern piece, and more modern ballet techniques have been used in this movement. So it was actually quite cool to look at, and also very creative, especially when it came to the lighting. We see areas in which there's like white, in which focuses on the dancers, and we see like the rest is all black, which kind of like goes really well with the title of this piece, which was actually really interesting. And then in the final movement, we have Beethoven's Symphony in A major, which is just absolutely gorgeous, even though it's also quite minimalist as well. We see like a sort of like rainbowish mountain, though it's like all white and some colored streaks. And the dancers are like wearing like pale blue outfits, and the ladies have like a stripe on their tops as well. And well, and the conducting here is absolutely very gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of Beethoven, and they used it really well. And my favorite has to be the second movement, in which the tune goes like this: da dum dum da 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 dum dum da 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 da. That always like lifts me up because the first time I encountered this was when Sarah Brightman, well, sort of sang an arrangement of this movement called Figlio Perduto. So it's absolutely really gorgeous as well. The third movement is also extremely gorgeous as well, but the one that really sold it for me was the fourth movement, in which it was just like all like bright and colorful. The second movement basically used a lot of warmer colors, and in this like third piece in general, there were like a lot of warm colors involved. So it's sort of to like give a distinction to each of these pieces. Like the first one, which is Mala, is basically something from the post romantic era. And then with the second piece, it's modern. And then in the third one, it's classical. So it's a really interesting mesh of different styles, of different eras, different generations, and they come together as one, and we get this wonderful anthology. And it's also thanks to the great conducting done by Maestro Jakub Kleka, who really gave such attention to detail with each of the music that he was using, mainly for Mahler and for Beethoven. So he really knew what he was doing, and there was no slip up from the orchestra at all. It was just pure musical heaven for me. And the dancing from all of the soloists, ranging from Michaela Vencelova and Yuri Kodem, were just wonderful as they danced together, especially when it came to the other dancers as well, who I also saw a few nights ago in Romeo and Juliet. And those were Andrea Krameshova, let's see, yeah, Gianvito Attimonelli, Alexandra Katsapov, Miho Ogemoto, Sophie Benoit, and I think that's just all that I remembered. And to see them once again perform was just absolutely wonderful. They were all in great control. They were all very disciplined dancers. They really knew how to use their bodies very well. And they were all synchronized. It was, simply put, a very great collaborative effort that everyone did, and I could really see the teamwork and the passion that these dancers really had, and I could really see them enjoying this craft, even though, yes, it is difficult, but at least I could really see the joy in their faces, and just how they managed to bring their movements to life as they managed to, well, give it all. So overall, this was definitely a very wonderful evening for ballet. And sadly, this is also my last night here. And this is also my last review here in Prague, as I'll be heading back to Berlin tomorrow. So yeah, overall, this is definitely a great evening. And this certainly ended up with a bang for me. And I'd like to thank the dancers and even the conductor and the orchestra for really giving me such an evening to remember. I really enjoyed everything, and this was definitely a way to crown my Prague reviews with this ballet anthology. Well, that's all for now. Like I said, I'm really sad that I'm departing Prague, and, well, because there were a lot of interesting places that I ended up in. I also felt like I've made a lot of new friends here, and especially saw some really wonderful artists that I can't really begin to name them all, because if I begin to name them all, I'd be here all day. But it's safe to say that I've also friended them on Facebook, and I'm really happy to be their like new friends, so to say. And I'm sure that you're all watching this. To all of the artists that I saw at the Praha Statni Opera, the National Theatre of Prague, and the Prague Estates Theatre, I want to thank you all for making me enjoy Prague so much. I like to thank all of your artistry, and I like to thank the effort that you managed to put in all of your roles and all of your endeavors. And I really have such a huge blast seeing you guys on stage, and I am personally happy to have met you, not really met you in person, but actually see what you did. And I was able to learn from them as well. And they really touched me as a person, not just as a performer or a reviewer, but also as a person. And that's actually really precious for me. So, well, to everyone that I've Facebook friended with, Eliška Vajsova, Yukiko Kinjo, Jana Kaczerkova, Miloš Horak, Anda Luisa Bogja, Jan Chalupecki, and many, many others that I can't begin to name off the top of my head. I wish you all the best in your futures. I wish you all the best in your upcoming endeavors. And if ever we get the chance to see each other again, then it'll be a wonderful time that I'll be expecting. And, well, I'm sure that you're there to deliver that, deliver all the goods. And, well, stay cool, stay awesome, and stay wonderful, everybody. And until then, this is Antoni signing off, and have a great evening, everybody.